on to one of the kings of zest, Mr. Dwight Howard,
Unbelievable.
who after 6 months is going to be divorced. I didn't even know that he was married, first of all.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But Dwight Howard was married to a woman named Amy Luciani, who is the woman that you see here in our overlay there. But after 6 months of wedded bliss, Amy Luciani has filed for divorce from Dwight Howard,
Surprise, surprise.
saying that the marriage is irrevocably broken and there is
Oh,
no chance for reconciliation.
damn.
So, Dwight Howard, who he himself has entered into an interesting phase in his career, now
Mm-hmm.
being a player who is on the big three. This is where Dwight Howard is at the moment as a professional basketball player. And no shade to the big three. I'm a fan of the big three, but Dwight Howard is currently on the big three.
Mm-hmm.
So he was married to this woman named Amy Luciani, and after 6 months, that has gone kaput. So this says Amy Luciani files for divorce from Dwight Howard after 6 months of marriage. Dwight Howard and Amy Luciani tied the knot just a few months ago. According to TMZ Sports, however, they've already decided to go their separate ways. Reportedly, Luciani filed for divorce at a Georgia courthouse on July 1st. The marriage is irretrievably broken, the docs claim. There are no prospects for reconciliation. She wants all of their marital assets and property to be equitably divided by the courts and has requested alimony. At the time of writing, Howard has not publicly addressed the split, though Luciani did in an exclusive statement shared with the Shade Room.
Of course.
Although it is true, I am not sure how it got out to the public. Yeah, right. Still wrapping my head around a lot, although I know it won't happen. I hope the public can give us grace and privacy right now. She also took to her Instagram story earlier today to share an inspirational message. Remember, if God brought you to it, he will bring you through it. Howard confirmed his marriage to Luciani during an appearance on The Breakfast Club last month. In doing so, he explained that he prefers to keep most of his personal life private when possible. We are, he said, when asked if he and Luciani were married. There's always some rumors, but I just keep that side of my life private so everybody ain't got nothing to say. Keep that private and keep it moving. Howard was previously in a tumultuous relationship with Royce Reed before getting engaged to Luciani last December. Amid news of the engagement, Reed took to social media to allege that the athlete abused both her and their 17-year-old son, Braylon Joshua Howard. So, of all people, Mr. Dwight Howard is yet another divorce alimony casualty. And this one didn't even last 6 months. Uh, so what do you make of this situation?
Yeah, man. Dwight played himself here. I don't know what he's thinking. But as you like to talk about as people decision making, this guy's been making horrible decisions for a long time. It's funny, man. When he came into the league, bro, he had this entire persona, man, of Christian guy and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, high in values,
Yes.
clean cut.
Yes.
Then it just went off the rails and it just became the zest fest. So all of a sudden he's big zesty and he's just getting into strange, peculiar behavior. And so this I didn't know he was married. Now I think I was under the assumption he was like engaged to this woman. I didn't know he like formally got married. But yeah, that last woman, as the article mentioned, was really kicking up dust or whatever, talking about, their son and all this other stuff. And, I was like, hey man, Dwight's actually trying to move on from you, man. Kid Rock. As toxic as y'all situation was, let the man move on or whatever. I didn't know what was gonna come of it. But I damn sure didn't have 6 months on my bingo card. So for her to pull this stunt, this lady here, now I'm sure it is irreconcilable. You're dealing with Dwight Howard here. So I'm not saying she's lying. I'm saying Dwight's an idiot because he does irreconcilable things. He know damn well he's a you know what I'm saying? He play backdoor games. All right. He has his own version of Diddy parties from what I hear. So this guy here, he never slows down. So I don't know why he thought it was wise to tie the knot. And from what the article says, you know what I'm saying? He definitely put himself in a position to have some of his assets taken. Cause you know she ain't bringing nothing to the table. So yeah, man, she put a 6 month like down payment type, you know what I'm saying, situation on this thing and just cashed out. And of course, Dwight did something that she can produce receipts on to say that he did. And you know, and I ain't trying to take all your points, man, but this ties into what you talked about before. Well, it's just like, look, if you know this is in your character set, why get married in the first damn place?
Exactly.
So he put himself in this wild ass situation. So you know, you can't feel sorry for Dwight, man. You know, there was times in the past where I was like, maybe this guy's some misunderstood, or hey, man, maybe the guy is a little zesty, man. Leave the man alone. But you know, there's so much stuff that come out with this guy where he's just making horrendous decisions that it's just like, yeah, man. You know, as fun loving as he may be, he seems to be a damn fool. So yeah, man, he got here. I can't even say that love was real love. It seems like he got played. You know what I'm saying? Allah, that dude we covered last week, saying that he felt like he got targeted. Right, bro, you got targeted. Well, what are your thoughts, Simon? What are your thoughts, man, on Dwight Howard? All right, only married for 6 darn months, now getting divorced and potentially some of his assets seized. What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, he deserves everything. If she takes him to the cleaners, he deserves it. Yeah. Once again, this is episode. What is it at this point? Episode number 50. Yeah, this is episode 50 in the Conscious Approach series of people not taking accountability and not understanding how to accept who they are and make the right decisions accordingly. Dwight Howard is documented publicly enjoys a varied sex life. Um, Emphasis on the word varied.
Alternative.
Right. And if that is what you are about, and if that is who you are, I don't understand one's decision to get married unless you're willing to turn that off.
Right.
Something tells me that he didn't disclose everything to this woman before marrying her. It kind of seems like they got married and then, you know, stuff hit the fan because she's like, oh, I didn't really sign up for this. And then obviously, because he didn't enter into the situation with any protections, because that's what people who don't make good decisions do, she can now exit out of it with a come up, which is exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, it's almost like the second they walk down the aisle, she picked up her phone and set an alarm for 6 months from that date. And once the alarm went off, it was time to file the paperwork. But you know, this is on Dwight Howard, just like it's on every other man who finds himself in this situation because he tried to fit a square peg into a round hole and be someone whom they are not. Dwight Howard strikes me as the type of individual who has no business being married from everything that I know publicly and what's been reported. Yet he tried to do it anyway. Why? Beats me. To conform to a social norm because he felt pressure to do it. He's in a position of leverage. He's made tens of millions of dollars as a professional basketball player. There's nothing incentivizing him to get into this union. So I don't know what would have compelled him to do so other than him being confused about who he is as a person.
Right.
And when an individual is confused about who they are, they will get taken to the cleaners by people who can take advantage of it. And that's what she did. And so he deserves this. We need to come to grips with who we are as people and act accordingly. Stop waxing poetically about being the married type when you're not the married type. Just understand who you are. Don't get married if you're not built for it. And if you are built for it, don't try to be out in the streets when you know you're not built for that. Be who you are. No one's holding a gun to your head saying if you don't be who you are, we'll pull the trigger. Like, there's no consequences for being the person you were meant to be. But far too often people ignore that and they decide to try to go outside of themselves and do things that they have no business doing. And it sucks to see somebody who's in a privileged position have to relinquish a lot of what they work to earn simply because they could not reconcile that emotion. And
Mm-hmm.
Dwight Howard appears to be the next person in a long line of individuals, men in particular, who found it difficult to make that reconciliation. So hopefully he doesn't get taken to the cleaners too heftily. But whatever happens to him, he would have deserved it. So
Yeah,
yeah, I have no sympathy for him. It is what it is. Make better decisions.
yeah. Neo is looking like a prophet in these people's community because they all live in the same weirdo universe. And Neo said, I live in this weirdo universe where I do diddler behaviors. You know what I'm saying? Could get zesty from now and again. Or have some off the wall, you know what I'm saying? Uh, what do you call that? Menages. You know what I'm saying? So he knew that that's the taste of life that he's on. And so, yeah, marriage didn't serve him. And so, if Dwight goes to, and attends those parties, because that lady that the article was talking about, the one that he was either engaged to or ex-wife or whatever that woman was,
Oh, they
she
were
mentioned,
married. I
yes,
thought they were married, and they just
yes,
got yeah.
yeah. So that she mentioned that he would have dudes coming to the house where the kids at, you know what I'm saying, and just going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so he was living like a rock star. So I'm sure, and I know it hasn't stopped. That's what I'm saying. This woman she just sat around, married the man, waited for the evidence for him to do his typical behavior. So yeah, the average everyday person that's living at the house is gonna look at Neo like, hey man, he's some weirdo and he's just doing X, Y, and Z, but he's living in a weirdo universe. And so, but it makes sense for him to approach his love life in a weird fashion, air quote, because he's living in an alternate universe. Dwight lives in an alternate universe where he wants to do all of this alternative things. So as you mentioned, bro, it makes no sense for him to sit around here and, risk, his livelihood to try to prove some point to who? To us? We already know what time you want. Everybody knew it. Maybe he got married because of that. Because there's this whole rumor going around because he like lived like that. I saw a video not too long ago, probably like a couple weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? He getting interviewed by that guy. I do not know the name of that man, but he got like a popular podcast. Dwight Howard sitting there on that guy podcast. And then Dwight was like, yeah, man, I'm not gay, man. I'm not gay, bro. It's like, come on, Dwight. Everybody knows it. But he said, man, it's a rumor, man. People got that idea from what I did to Isaiah Cannon or whatever that guy name is. And, where he said, it looked like I put my hand on his, I put my hand on his thigh, but people made it look like I was reaching for his genitals. It's like, you were reaching for his genitals. You know what I'm saying? Everybody saw it. That was in 4K. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying, bro. And nowadays where nobody gives a damn, bro, just go out there and you're living a celebrity. Nobody gives a damn. Everybody knows
that's why I don't think it's that. I just think he's confused about who he is and he just doesn't know.
Well, he wants to keep living all the way.
Yeah.
He wants to enjoy both sides of the spectrum. So why get married?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, man, just take Neo's advice, all you celebrities. Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. You know what I'm saying? Just take the Neo approach and save yourselves. But they won't. They're going to keep doing all of this stuff. And we're going to be right here to talk about it when they start hits the fan, man, because people need to learn, as you mentioned, man. And that's well put, bro. If you know what time you want, don't sit there and lie to yourself and put yourself in a compromising position because you're trying to prove something to other people. Be honest with who you are. And if you're not ready to get married, don't force it. But these clowns out here, and you don't have to be in a position where you're in a position to lose millions of dollars, man. Just the anguish enough dealing with lawyers and all that stuff and divorce and all, it's just not worth it. So yeah, man, tisk, man, 1,000 lashes for Dwight Howard here. Really don't have much words for her. She got what she wanted out of the situation. But Dwight with cake on his face yet again.
Yeah, I don't have much words for her because I don't even know who she is.
Yeah, who the hell is she?
I don't know. But
Luciana?
I mean, but that's a valuable lesson that applies not just in celebrity world. I mean, you can extrapolate that to everybody. I mean, part of why people find themselves in disadvantageous life circumstances oftentimes is because it's the result of a decision that was made that came from something that they shouldn't be doing given who they are. Marriage, relationships, anything. Like if like man, woman, it doesn't matter. Young, it doesn't matter. Like you don't have to be a celebrity to understand that it does not behoove you to seek marriage and family if deep down inside you know you're not built for that. And if we all know who we are. So if you, and that's part of the reason why, that's part of, not all of, but it's part of the reason why the state of marriage and family is in such disarray. Because there are a lot of people who, for various reasons, shouldn't be getting married and quite frankly shouldn't be having children.
No.
But they're not understanding who they are within this thing that we call life, and they're trying to buck the system, and they're going through with these things anyway, and it's creating a lot of broken families and a lot of broken homes in the process. And so that's a part, it's part and parcel as to why those kinds of sentiments should be heeded by everybody, not just people who are in that alternate universe of celebrity world. People need to act in kind with who they are. And I personally have met so many people who like to talk about being in relationships, and they'll blame, like, for example, I have male friends who claim to want to be in relationships and claim to want to be married. Mind you, these are guys who are around my age, so they're damn near 40. It's like, look, bro, you're at this age. Who are you fooling? You don't need a lot of me. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. But these guys will be damn near 40, still singing that tune about how they want a serious relationship and how they want to be married, yet they're always in the streets. And if you quiz them on why they're doing the street game while claiming that they want to be married, instead of understanding that they're the reason why they can't figure it out, they'll just blame women. I hear it all the time. Oh, well, these chicks ain't loyal. Or women don't want to be submissive. Or women don't want to let a man lead. Women don't want to let a man lead. Women want to run the relationship. Women want to blah blah blah. They're blaming women as to why they haven't tied the knot yet. And it's like, bro, it ain't women, it's you. You don't want to do it. You ain't ready for that. Like if you were, you would have found a woman who was on your timeline because they exist. But you are gravitating towards women who aren't on that timeline because your true timeline is those women.
Just sad. It's a harsh reality, man.
It is. It is. And a lot of us can't accept it. And that goes for women too. Women will blame men for why they can't get married or find companionship or find somebody who can give them loyalty or who won't cheat on them, instead of acknowledging that they can't stop choosing the men who will give them the opposite of what they seek. So what they need to understand is maybe you're not built for this because what you like is instability.
Yeah.
That's what you like. But see, coming to terms with that is too painful. So they hide behind it and they will just sort of try to rationalize the decisions that they make by blaming the other person. It ain't everybody else's fault. It's your fault. And all of us collectively are engaging in this insanity. The ones who can't figure it out, that is. And Dwight Howard is amongst the individuals who can't figure it out, engaging in his own insanity. And so, everything that he gets coming to him as a result of this situation is his own doing. But maybe it can serve as a lesson for him.
Yeah, hopefully, but I highly doubt it, man. I feel more goofy, bonehead decisions coming from this guy because he seems to love it. You know, he's always in the news, man. When it comes to something, and it's always predicated around his decision making.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it'll stop here, man. You would hope so, but I don't think so, man. But hey, man, shout out to Big Zesty, bro. Hopefully you got a you had a prenup, bro, because this is looking bad for your partner.
Nah, he ain't had no prenup. And a correction, him and Royce Reed, they weren't married. They never got married. They just had the kid together. So that's a correction on my part. They were never married, but still very suspect decision making.
Crazy stuff, man.
Good luck, Dwight.